The immortal John Hancock here, and today I'm taking a first look at Tribute Games' Panzer Paladin, and it's available on Nintendo Switch and Steam. And so this is a great game. It's a combination of like some of my favorite action platformers from the NES. You got Metal Storm, Bionic Commando, Castlevania, and it takes lots of those types of gameplay aspects and throws them into one game. And in this video, it's a first look. I'm going to show you what makes this game great. Let's take a look. When you start the game, you're introduced to the basic story with an 80s style cutscene. It was a total throwback to me, to my childhood, watching some 80s cartoons. I mean, it was just awesome. I absolutely love the introduction, and it really gets you into the mood to play this game. And so if you're a fan of that time period, you're gonna love this game. And so here you go. There's lots of different modes in this game. There's 3 different difficulty settings. There's actually even a CRT mode where you can have scan lines on the game. There's a classic mode and then remixed. The first level is just to get you used to the basic controls, downward thrust, upward thrust, as well as getting out of your Paladin. You control a pilot by the name of Flame, and so it's really cool. It's got a lot of cool mechanics. You pick up weapons, and these weapons and the manipulation of them is how you get farther into this game. And so different weapons have different abilities and spells. You can break the weapons. You have to sacrifice a weapon for each checkpoint as well. So this is just the very first introductory boss. If you like a throwback to an 8-bit style NES game, you're going to love what they do here. Tribute Games has done many other classics such as Flint Hook and Mercenary Kings, and it shows that they are an established producer of these types of games. I really like what they did. So each level, as you beat the boss, you will get introduced to a new type of weapon, and you can add that to your library. You can equip 4 weapons at once, and what you can do is then have a library of weapons in your inventory you can select in and out. And so there's 17 different levels, and so they recommend to play Mexico or Egypt as your first level. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you that. I'll show you Mexico, and each level is varied with graphics and sound. I definitely had like this game kind of reminded me of like TurboGrafx Legendary Axe a little bit. So they're just a big fan of that time period. There was just some really neat things that they did in this game to set the mood, and the gameplay mechanics too get a lot more sophisticated as you get farther into this game. And so it starts off pretty basic. You know, I'm just showing kind of the early levels. I don't want to ruin anything for people that want to play this themselves. And so lots of different bosses and stuff. But yeah, you can get out of your Paladin named Grit, and you can swing. It definitely has like a Bionic Commando kind of thing, and a little bit with Castlevania. And then you can recharge your health by getting into these canisters, these like energy canisters. And so it's really cool. So another thing too is you can play the game and you can try beating a level by being just the pilot. And so it's really cool that it has that type of gameplay mechanic. And so the usage of different weapons and stuff is crucial in this game. As I mentioned before, you have to sacrifice a weapon to use for a checkpoint. I recommend using a weapon as they go down. You can break them and lose them, so use one that's about ready to be broken. And make sure to equip 4 weapons before you fight a boss. Therefore, you can quickly switch to another weapon. Each weapon has different abilities, and so you have to kind of test out and find out what works the best against different bosses. And so I've really found the bosses large and colorful. Really just took me back to my childhood, and I felt like I was playing an NES game. They were going for that. If you're a big fan of that time period, you're going to feel right at home here. And so as I mentioned before, this game has multiple difficulty settings, so if you just want to play this game and be casual and just enjoy it, that's great. But for people that want a little bit more challenge, there is a speedrun mode, and so that's really cool that you can go through and try to beat a level and see how fast you can beat it. There are achievements built into the game as well called awards. Really like that too. So there's lots of different things to uncover in this game. And so I beat the second level here and I unlocked a new weapon. And so add that to your library. And so you can go to the laboratory and you can upgrade your grit. And so upgrading it gives you more health. It's really important that you try to find as many weapons as possible on each level. Each level varies with hidden secrets. You got to break things like Castlevania style. And so it makes you search everywhere. And so this is Egypt. This is the other level that's introductory to kind of how to play this game. As the game progresses, the levels get more varied and you have to do more strategies with your weapons. And so it's important to search everywhere for hidden weapons. And so weapons are going to help you beat the bosses at the end of each levels. And again, as I mentioned before, if you do not get to a checkpoint, you start the level over again. So that's kind of a challenge of this game, even on the easiest settings. And so I really found myself enjoying the different settings of this game, and definitely even the enemies kind of were a throwback to the 80s. And so as you can get out of your Paladin, and as a pilot you can explore levels and find different secrets as well as health, which is really important as you get farther in the game. It gets more challenging. And so I really like that, like Blaster Master type style gameplay. And so here's the boss of the Egypt level, and it's pretty cool. So really enjoyed kind of seeing the different pattern of attack. And there is a tournament mode in this game in which you can attack all the bosses and you get a score depending on how well you do beating the bosses. And so really think that's neat. There's a lot to enjoy about this game. So that is that level, and you unlocked yet another weapon. And so in the game, you beat a level, you unlock a weapon, you can then use the weapons in the laboratory. Now, Blacksmith is a different mode, and I love that they added this feature. And so this is cool. You can create your own weapon and upload it for other people to use. I made Nerf here. I made it a pretty strong weapon, but you just can't throw it. You can't throw weapons in this game, but Nerf, I didn't make it too great to throw, but it's pretty strong otherwise. And so you can even select the different spells that your weapons have. And so there it is, Nerf. And so it's cool. I just think it's cool that you can create your own weapon. And so lots to like about it. This is the United States level. And I'm equipping different weapons and using one that's about ready to break as a checkpoint. So a lot of variety in the levels as well as hidden secrets. Certain places have to be broken with a particular type of weapon. And so it's important to have a wide variety of weapons in your library so that you can unlock secrets in each level. This is the fourth boss, and so really cool. Just kind of neat to see the different boss fights. This one it's kind of neat, kind of splits up, and so you have to find the real one. 17 levels in total. There's a remix mode in which everything is rearranged. I really like that. And so with the different modes, there's a lot of variety here. I played this game a couple hours just to check it out, and so far I really like what I am seeing. And so really has a nice graphic look, and I definitely can tell that Tribute Games is really going for that 80s look, and I think they knocked it out of the park. And this is a game I do recommend, and I think people that grew up in the 80s are definitely going to appreciate what they've done here. Lots to enjoy here. Beat another level, and it's going to unlock another weapon. And so I can't wait to play this game more, and I think that you'll like it too. Check it out. So there you have it. This game has a lot to offer. 17 levels, multiple modes, as well as the ability to create your own weapons and upload them to share with others. I really like this game. I've played about half of it so far. What did you think? Comment below. Is this a game you're interested in? It's 20 bucks on the eShop and Steam, and so far I'm really enjoying it. And I like these types of games. These are the types of games I grew up with, And so I really like, and I think Tribute Games knocked it out of the park as an homage to some classic 8-bit style games. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell for upcoming videos as I upload every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.